Hey folks! The AI capabilities in the widget builder are generating a lot of buzz, and for good reason. It's super powerful. If you've tinkered with vibe coding in any other platform, you're going to love this. Let me take you through the process of creating a custom widget using AI and deploying your new widget into a site. First, we'll open up the widget builder. To create a new widget with the help of AI, we're going to click Build New Widget, then Build with AI. For this demonstration, I'm going to be creating a video gallery, so that's what I'll name it. You'll notice I land in the widget builder, but the AI assistant is open and waiting for instructions. So here, to save time, I went ahead and prepared a prompt, but we can certainly cover prompting techniques in another video. To summarize my prompt, I'm asking the widget builder to create a video gallery from an internal collection and display those videos as a grid. I want to have clickable tiles, a space for title, description, thumbnail, a type label, and length. Okay, so let's go ahead and copy this prompt into the builder. And now we wait. It's going to think for a bit and then start building out the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript that's needed to power our widget. What's really great is that it'll also try to anticipate properties the end user might want to change in the design and content panels. So even if you're familiar with how to build widgets manually, this can be a big time saver. Another tip while we're waiting, I supplied written instructions on what I wanted the design of my widget to look like, but know that you can also upload images to use as design inspiration. Okay, let's see what it made for us. All right, not bad. It created a grid like I asked for. It has clickable tiles with hover states. It's got labels for the video types and a spot for the video length. Looks like we need to adjust the font color of the video title, but honestly, I'm pretty happy with this. This is a good starting spot. All right, let's see if the pop-up works. All right, it works, and check that out. I think we got rickrolled, folks. I like that it added a sample YouTube video in there for us. However, I really don't like that the video is not centered, so let's go ahead and fix that. Okay, so back in the builder, I'm going to ask AI to center the video on screen. And I also want to ask it to stop the background from scrolling when the pop-up is open. Again, all this is handled via prompts, so you don't need to go and manipulate the code at all unless you want to. And while we're waiting, keep in mind that you can use that same conversational approach to prompting to make the other changes as well. So I would say when you're building your own widgets using AI, you should expect to have that back and forth dialogue with the AI to help it make the changes that you want. It's not a mind reader. It's not going to know what you want unless you tell it. Okay, let's go ahead and see how it did. All right, that's much better. There are still some things I would like to change, but let's go ahead and publish the widget so we can connect it to an actual collection on a site. All right, so back in the builder, we're going to click publish, and then we'll update the widget settings. Here you can edit the widget's name, upload a custom icon if you want, and categorize and provide keywords so people can find the widget in the widget menu. Okay, let's go ahead and look at how to deploy the widget onto an actual site. So we're going to select the site where we want the widget to be used, and then I'm going to navigate to the page where I want that new widget to live. I've already prepared a spot for our new widget, so I'm just going to drag and drop that new widget onto the page like you would any other widget. You'll notice that the new widget looks just like it did in preview. However, we don't want a whole gallery of Rick Astley videos, so let's go ahead and connect our new widget to a collection. All right, so this brings me to something that I would recommend when you're writing prompts. When you're building a widget that involves a collection, I found it really helpful to ask the builder to add collection instructions to the content panel so that you or anyone else using your widget has something to reference when building their collection table. I've gone ahead and pre-built the collection so you don't have to watch that part, but let's go ahead and connect our collection to our widget. All right, so it looks like some of the data made it in. There's all the text. We've got the title, the description, labels, time, but it doesn't look like the video appears to be working. So I'm gonna go ahead and investigate. Okay, so here I cut the original recording because even though the video titles and the description and the other fields loaded in fine, my videos themselves didn't load into the widget the first time. And I did some troubleshooting and I cut all that out because I don't want you to have to wait through all that. But this did really illustrate an important point that I wanted to cover. So AI can and will make mistakes. Troubleshooting code that was built using AI is really its own skill and takes some practice. So sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Even if you use the exact same prompt that I did, it's likely that you'll get some different results. So in my case, the issue was that I followed the collection instructions to a T and I added my column as a text field. In reality, the column in my collection should have been a URL field. As soon as I made that change, all of my videos popped into place. Okay, let's get back to the original video. All right, folks, so I've done some troubleshooting and the videos are all working now. I also made some other changes to ensure that the title and description font colors were changing properly. Let's look at the final version of the widget we created. So here in the builder, you can see it created the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript code for us, and it also populated fields and properties that people who use the widget might need to interact with. And here's the widget in our site. You can see we've got a fully functional, reusable video gallery widget that's powered with data from an internal collection. From here, you can drag the widget into other sites and share this widget with other teammates so that they can use your creation as well. Again, if you haven't already tinkered with this functionality, I encourage you to give it a try. As always, reach out to us with questions, comments, or show us a demo. We love seeing what you build.